Hey, welcome back. In our last video, we got all that garlic planted out in the back patch there. 164 plants in the ground. I really started having garlic on my mind. Love me some garlic. I love pickled garlic and dried garlic and fresh garlic. And so I started thinking, I'm kind of getting low on some garlic powder here. So it had me wondering, with any good experiment, you always start with a question. Is it more cost effective to go ahead and buy minced garlic from the store and dehydrate it yourself and make your own powder? I don't know. That's what we're going to find out today. I designed a small experiment to try and test out this theory. I went to the store just a little while ago and picked up this jar of minced garlic and water. This is not organic, but it is non-GMO. It's the best I could find. They didn't have any organic minced garlic at the store when I went. That's what we're growing out here is organic garlic. Not certified, of course, but our personal organic. So this was the best thing I could find, and I was wondering if I could just put this in the dehydrator, obviously lay it out on a rack and stuff, but if I could put this in a dehydrator, since I'm getting low on garlic, and my garlic's going to take multiple months, it's going to be June or July before I get to harvest it, and then it's got to cure, then I can dry it and make powder. I'm kind of running low right now and kind of wanted to up my stock here in the house for over the winter time, so I went ahead and bought this to try this out. So the way we're going to do this experiment is I wrote down some notes here. I took a few pictures while I was at the store, and just for reference, for cost purposes, this jar right here is 907 grams of contents. Now this is garlic in water, and we're going to drain this and everything to get a good accurate count on it, but this is 907 grams. So as this is right here, you're paying 99 cents per 100 grams of the contents of this jar. Now I looked at, McCormick was the closest one that I can find that was a non-GMO but also non-organic garlic, because organic garlic powder is quite a bit more expensive than regular garlic powder. But I compared the prices. So this is 99 cents per 100 grams. And for dried powder from McCormick, for a 248 gram jar is $12.98, which comes out to $5.23 per 100 grams. And then a dried minced garlic, so that's not even completely powdered all the way down, it's basically just this dried. The minced garlic was a 255 gram jar, and it was $13.98, which came out to $5.48 for 100 grams. And I found that kind of interesting because maybe the machinery that they use, maybe it's another process that they have to do, but I would think that you have to process mince down even more to get to powder, but why is powder cheaper? Anyway, so what we're going to do to get this a little more scientific here is we're going to take this jar and we're going to dump it into a colander, and we're going to strain and drain all of the water out of it and get it so all we have in here is garlic. So we're going to do that right now. So I got this bowl and this little wire mesh strainer here. Like I said, I just bought this, so it's completely new. Get as much garlic as we can in the strainer. I got a little mason jar of water here. I want to put some of that in there. Slosh it around, get all the bits that we can there. All of our minced garlic is now in our strainer. So we're going to let this sit for a couple hours just to drain out really well, get it really good and dry, and then we'll get it loaded in the dehydrator. I'll show you that when we get to that part. Alright, welcome back. It's been a couple hours here. Got the garlic pretty much drained out. Now I'm going to go ahead and transfer the garlic from the strainer to another bowl on top of a food scale, so we can get a real weight on actual garlic contents from this jar. It kind of give you an idea too of how much water you're buying when you buy this minced garlic and water also. So I'm going to go ahead and dump this in here, and I got a bowl on the scale, got the scale zeroed out. Oh wow, 536 grams. When you buy a jar of minced garlic in water, it is almost half water. That is crazy. I'm gonna write this down on my notebook here. 536 grams. Let's see how much that is now. Still, this is still $8.98 now because we haven't done anything. You know what I mean? That's what it cost us to buy this garlic. So I think the price just doubled. All right, for 536 grams of garlic with no water left in it, this is just raw garlic still now. It comes out to $1.68 per 100 grams. So it's not quite double. It's a little bit less than that because remember when we had it in the jar, it was 99 cents per 100 grams. Now we are at $1.68 per 100 grams of minced garlic with no water. So now what you need to do, this water that you drained out here, don't get rid of that, all right? That's some good stuff there. You can add that to, if you're making green beans or something or whatever, something that you've got to add some liquid to it, to like anything you can use stock for, you can use this for. So don't get rid of this. I'm gonna dump it back in that jar and put it in the fridge. Probably use it in the next couple of days. It probably won't. I'm sure it'll last a little while, but it ain't gonna last long in this house. I can tell you that. But so we're gonna just set this aside for right now, and we're gonna start working with this guy here. Got a couple dehydrator trays here. I got them lined with parchment paper. Figured that'd be the easiest way to do this. I only cut 2 pieces of parchment paper. I didn't want to use a whole bunch to do this. So I only cut 2 pieces of parchment paper, but I've also got these silicone mesh screen pieces here. So they're just a mesh screen. They're they got small openings on them that I can lay across these racks as well and put some of this garlic on it. So I'm gonna try that too and see if I was concerned about it sticking to this, but with it being silicone, should be okay. I don't know. We'll try to figure this out here in a second. All right, so we got our first tray here with the parchment on it. I'm just gonna take a spoon and just scoop it out and spread it. You want it kind of spread as thin as possible to maintain a good adequate airflow around your garlic so it dries really well. This garlic we're gonna dry it at about 150 degrees. Can't remember the settings on my dehydrator and how low or what the actual settings are on it, but it says to do it for 6 to 8 hours if you're in a high humidity area, which we are. The humidity all the way up until about 11 o'clock today was 99% outside, and it's not raining, so it's just, that's our regular old humidity at our place. So it says to do it for 6 to 8 hours. I'm probably just gonna let it run overnight. That way, when I get up in the morning, I mean, there should be no questions about it that it should be done. It looks pretty good. So, got the garlic all spread out here, and I'm just gonna slide this in the old dehydrator and tray number 2 going in. And it looks like we're gonna have to do 1 tray with the silicone sheet, so that's good. So this will be another experiment. We're gonna do 2 experiments at one time. Amazing. We grab a spatula to scrape out the bowl. I'm trying to make this as scientific as possible, so I'm trying to keep just about as much of the little minced pieces as I can. And there we have it. Got all the minced garlic. It's inside the dehydrator here. I'm going to turn this thing on. We're just going to run it overnight. It's about 2 o'clock in the afternoon right now, so if I do 6 to 8 hours, that'll be about 10 o'clock tonight, and I'm not trying to stay up that late. So I'm just going to let it run overnight. That way it'll be really, really dry too, because like I said, we're in a high humidity area here, even inside the house. So yeah, we're about 65% humidity in here. So I'm going to make sure it runs really well overnight. It's going to smell, the whole house is going to smell like garlic, which is not necessarily a bad thing. I enjoy the smell of garlic, so that's not going to hurt my feelings at all. Probably wouldn't do this with hot peppers inside the house. That's a different video that we'll do at some point, probably next season, because growing season's pretty much over. But we're going to go ahead and get this dried down, and we're going to check on it in the morning. All right, good morning everyone. It's the next morning here. Got the dehydrator. I actually got up about 9 or 10 o'clock last night and came out and turned it off. The garlic seemed like it was getting pretty dry, so hopefully it's dried down really well. So what we're gonna do here is I'm gonna take the garlic out of the dehydrator. I'm gonna put it in this container, and then we're gonna weigh it and see what the dried weight of the granular garlic is. So this is just the dried minced garlic. Silicone mesh worked out pretty well. It didn't quite stick to that. We're gonna see how these parchment papers, I think these are gonna be a little bit better. It's actually harder to get off the parchment paper than it was the silicone mats. I'm gonna have to remember that. Alright, one thing I forgot to do is I forgot to weigh the bowl before I put the granules in it, so I got another bowl. So we're gonna put this on the scale. I'm gonna grab my notebook. Put this on the scale and zero it out. It's 129 grams. It's kind of interesting. So when we bought this jar, remember we bought this jar yesterday, it was $8.98. So now we have 129 grams of dried minced garlic in here that still cost $8.98. So per 100 grams, that's $6.96 per 100 grams. That cost is actually higher than buying it already made. The dried minced was $5.48 per 100 grams from the store. So you're talking $1.50 per 100 grams even. $1.50 cheaper to buy it already prepared for you, and you didn't have to do anything. Already this experiment is not working out the way it's working out the way I thought it would. It's just not, my hypothesis is not correct. I thought it was going to be cheaper to buy minced garlic and go ahead and dry it down yourself, and it doesn't seem like that's going to be the case here. But we're going to go ahead and blend it up, and we'll get the powder weight should be fairly similar to the dried weight, or to the minced weight. So it shouldn't change much, but just to finish out the entire experiment, we're going to go ahead and dump this in a little bullet blender here and get it blended up. All right, so I got my bullet blender attachment for my regular blender base for it. I'm just going to dump this garlic in here, and we're going to give it a quick zip in here. Now you can use this same type of bullet, Magic Bullet, I guess is one of the brand names for one of these. You could use that. You can use a coffee grinder, spice grinder, anything that'll work to get you the consistency that you want. If you use like a burr grinder that is for grinding coffee beans, you'll get a more consistent size. This is just gonna beat it up until everything's either powdered or somewhere in between. I think we're gonna shoot for somewhere in between. I like a little bit chunky garlic too, but we're gonna go ahead and dump this in here. Now what you're gonna wanna do is once you start grinding this, you're gonna wanna, if your grinder allows you to do it, kind of shake it up and get it, because a lot of it's gonna fall down below where the blades are. So you're gonna have to get it kind of mixed up a little bit extra, shake it up a little bit more. All right, got it all blended up, got the top taken off. Just like I like it, there's quite a bit of powder. There's still quite a bit of probably half-size granules in there from the mince. So for scientific purposes, we're gonna go ahead and measure this. It should be the same, probably a little less, because some of this is gonna be stuck in this jar. So it'll probably even be a little less. So now our garlic powder is gonna be even more expensive. I got the bowl on here, got it zeroed out. Let's see what we get. 128 grams. So the cost is still $6.96 per 100 grams. The reason why I tried this experiment was just to have, I just had a thought while I was at the store yesterday, and I wanted to try it out and see what's going on. Plus I was getting low on garlic powder, but we're growing our own garlic outside, so all the costs that it's gonna, that I put into that, I mean, is obviously is time and everything. We got seed garlic cost in it too. I probably got, I don't know, $40 worth of seed garlic out there, and it's gonna give me, if they all come up, it's gonna be 164 plants, which is a lot of garlic. So my garlic cost is gonna be substantially lower to make garlic powder, pickled garlic, all that kind of stuff, any processed garlic. But this is a really interesting experiment though. Now if you bought whole cloves from the store, I think your cost would be substantially less, and I think at that point it'll kind of pay off to go ahead and process that down and dry it on your own. It'll probably be cheaper than the already pre-ground garlic powder or dried garlic minced. I don't know, maybe that's another experiment we'll try to do later on in the spring or something. We'll see how long this garlic lasts us, and this house, it probably isn't going to last that long, so we'll probably be able to do another experiment, but we'll play it by ear. If anything, we'll do this from start to end with our garlic. I'll show you the entire process of harvesting, curing, all of that stuff. Like I said, we just posted a video last week about planting the garlic and prepping the bed and all that stuff, so you should go check out that video once you're done watching this one, or maybe you watched that video and it brought you to this one. It's an interesting experiment. Like I said, it's cheaper to, if you're trying to do minced garlic in the dehydrator, it is cheaper to buy it already done. Whole head, that's still yet to be seen. I would assume it would be cheaper, but I also assumed this would be cheaper, and it's not. So thanks for hanging out with me today and watching these videos, and share them around. Go ahead and give us a like if you like the video. Even if you don't like the video, leave me a comment down below and let me know why you don't like it. Or go ahead and just give me a thumbs up anyway and just move on. No big deal. You know, it doesn't hurt you at all. Helps me out a little bit. Anyway, I'm starting to ramble here, so thanks for watching and have a great day.